If I were to start a channel, what should it be about? I have been wrestling with a bunch of ideas, just having trouble deciding.
So what are some of the ideas?
So I do like talking through business systems and how to type content.
Huh?
He likes work. He likes talking through business systems and how to type content.
So this is
Oh, I'm sorry. How to type of content. How to type of content.
but how to what? What kind of what?
So what do you mean by you said? Yeah, how to. So
But how to what?
Yeah, give us some examples of the how to you like setting things up.
Like how to set up a computer? What are we setting up?
More clarity, Drew. Come on, we need more clarity. So we know you like to talk through business systems, and you like to do how-to type of content. He said, like I ran an Amazon business for 3 to 4 years. He did the consulting. Okay.
So this one, honestly, Drew, depends on your need to make money, because you're doing something right now that people will pay a lot of money for, right? Like Garrett, Garrett teaches people how to make and save and invest millions of dollars, and people pay him tons of money to help him, and he'll pay Drew, thousands of dollars to help him. Garrett is not going to hire you for business systems. So you've got a giant opportunity in front of you right now to be the YouTube guy for these guys, where they won't hire you for all this other stuff. So that's like public service, good for the world. And you got to just decide how much money you want to make, because you can squeeze a lot of this out right now. You could make $1 million being a YouTube coach.
Wow.
And then you're set to do whatever you want ongoing. But this opportunity may also vanish. It may not be here, because being a business process expert is something you could do for sure. But the people who you're going to sell to and make big money off of already are pretty good at it, right? Who's going to hire you to do it? Who's going to pay you $4,000 a month? So you just got to decide. Is it possible? Sure. It's a much longer game, and it's a much slower build. But if it fills your heart, I love it. Go for it.
Okay, so he said, so you wouldn't necessarily focus on personal brand side of things?
Well, what is the personal brand? A business expert? The YouTube consulting, right? Like you could just, what is the brand that we're building? I think you have an opportunity right now in the next couple of years to make an impact and a crap load of money that sets you up for whatever you want to do for the rest of your life. And I'm just saying, weigh that. Like, it's not actually that far from what I'm talking to Zan about. Like, he wants to do all these things, and it's great, but not putting them in priority order. Every second you spend talking about business systems takes away from you actually building your YouTube business, and there's a window on that. And if you can keep that window open and push as hard as you can, that could be the difference between you making $250,000 and $2 million from this business. And that's a lot of money that can set you up for then whatever you want to do. You're still a pretty young guy. That could set you up for, that's life-changing kind of money. That then you can do whatever you want for the rest of your life. Now, if it's eating your soul and you just hate YouTube and it's destroying everything and you need to have some kind of outlet and it's not making you productive, great, then you adjust. But it's more of a hobby than a strategic business decision. Zen is just doing it wrong.
Learn from my mistakes, Drew. So my vision is around amplifying messages that the world needs. That's why he works with people like Garrett, Ben, you, Evan, and Chase Jarvis.
Right. So, let me flash. Oh my God, I died. I love it. So, but how are you going to do it, right? Like doing it through YouTube. Like, so let's take, who did you put on that list? Garrett. Perfect. Let's take Garrett, right?
Garrett.
So let's take Garrett. Helping Garrett with his YouTube channel is something that will dramatically help his business and get you paid. Helping Garrett with his business systems or with how-to stuff outside of YouTube is just not something that he prizes very highly. So you're not going to have the impact because you can't add as much to that business compared to what he already knows. The skill gap between what he knows and what you know may not be that big, and maybe he even knows more than you, right? For some of these people that you're talking with.
But he says, but the channel isn't for Garrett.
What channel? It's Garrett's
I
channel.
guess
You're getting paid to help Garrett with his channel, right? What's Garrett paying you for?
Drew, are you talking about the new channel you want to create?
I'm talking about allocation of your time.
Oh, he says, no, the channel I am creating isn't for people like Garrett.
Great. So now I'm not talking necessarily about Garrett now. It's allocation of time. So Garrett pays you X, and you know how much Garrett pays you, and you know how much Ben is paying you, and you know how much. If you continue down this path, right? You're still new. Fast forward, if you went a year hardcore on this and really built up, and I know some of your goals of getting into Genius and everything else, right? If you fast forward a year of continuing on the hustle like you're doing right now, imagine where you could be. If you start doing how-to content on YouTube for beginners who don't know how to do business systems, you're delaying definitely the growth of your YouTube business and probably the growth of your goals. Because you're not going to get paid thousands of dollars to talk to people about business systems. Not yet. You could at some point, but the people who could afford to pay you thousands of dollars don't respect your opinion on this. That's why I use Garrett as an example. Like, Garrett doesn't want to hire you for this. So how are you going to make up that money?
So minimal amount of time building out the personal brand side of things.
If the personal brand is not connected to your YouTube business, and as long as you can keep breathing doing it, right? If you feel totally out of control, can't do it, like you need to have this as an outlet, great, go do it. You're limiting your financial upside. That's all. If you can afford to play the long game and say, you know what, I'm going to do YouTube for the next 2 to 3 years. I'm going to make my $2 million. I'm going to join Genius Network. I'm going to make all my connections. And in that process, do a little bit of personal branding, sell my YouTube company, and then go all in on teaching people how to whatever. You're set. You're set forever.
He says, so take the Evan Carmichael approach. Build the business, go to critical mass, then focus on the personal brand when you can build out the team.
Yeah, not quite my way because it took me a long time to get here. You know, how long have you been doing YouTube for? Not a long time, right? A year? I don't know how long you've been doing it, but looking at Jeremy, who's a year and a half in, who's a 22-year-old kid, right? He shouldn't be making what he's making. It's crazy. Okay, so Drew said he's 2 years in on the consulting. Great.
Yeah,
like you shouldn't be making this 2 years in. Like there's just not enough experts. If you try doing anything, if you try teaching business systems, you would not be making this kind of money 2 years in. So me 2 years in, I didn't have a skill that I could teach. Right? That was the problem. From the beginning, I was helping entrepreneurs. My soft spot is for entrepreneurs who have no money. I was like, how am I going to make money doing this? You've got something that you can actually sell and you're good at and there's limited supply of, and you can start making some serious money, right? I would do this if it were me. And this is conversations I've had with Jeremy too. You know, how long do you want to do this for? Don't expect this business to still be around in 40 years. You're going to pivot a whole bunch of times. But if it were me and I was just getting started and I had no money, and I like doing it, it's not that you don't like doing YouTube, and knowing where you want to go with the connections you want to make, right? Like you're getting into rooms that you shouldn't be in. You're getting into rooms that otherwise they wouldn't be talking to you, right? You're getting in there because of the expertise that you have. You're going to fast track your way to get into Genius Network through this business. And doing the personal brand slows all of that down. Now, if you can't breathe without doing it, then fine. Like, yes, do it. It just slows down your business growth. That's fine.